Welcome to It's Fighting Stupid International Headquarters. I'm RT. This is going to be our UFC 133 video predictions. We're going to start with the Facebook portion of the card. Ivan Menjivar taking on Nick Pace. Ivan Menjivar is 1-1 in his last two, with a win over Charlie Valencia, but a loss to Brad One Punch Pickett. He's going to be taking on Nick Pace, who just lost to Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, the de facto #1 contender, though he does also hold a victory over Will Campuzano. I like Ivan Menjivar in this fight. He's a tri-star guy. He's going to come in good shape. He's got experience out his ears. I think he's going to win this one. Moving up the card, we got Rafael Natal taking on Paul Bradley. Paul Bradley's riding a 5-fight win streak right now, though none of the names in that streak are notable. In his career, he has notable losses to Luke Rockhold, Strikeforce middleweight #1 contender, and Mike Pierce, who you'll see later on in this card. He's going to be taking on Rafael Natal, who's coming off a draw to Jesse the Water Baumfeld. I'm not particularly impressed with either of these guys. I think Natal will probably take it because of a superior ground game, but don't expect a whole lot out of this fight. Moving up the card, we got Mike Thomas Brown taking on Nam Phan. You're going to be familiar with Mike Brown because of his run as the WEC featherweight champion, including a couple of victories over Uriah Faber. That said, Mike Brown is riding a 3-fight losing streak going into this, including losses to Rani Yahya and Diego Nunes. Nam Phan is going to be his opponent. Nam Phan, Vietnamese American Ultimate Fighter contestant. You'll know him most notably for his screwjob loss to Leonard Garcia his last time out, a fight that Nam Phan clearly won, but managed to come up short on the judges' cards. Moving to the de facto main event of our Facebook portion of the card, we got Johnny Hendricks taking on Mike Pierce. This is my pick for fight of the night. Both these guys have a real high energy, high impact style. Both pack lightning in their hands, and I think there's no way it doesn't go to a finish. Johnny Hendricks, though having the better grappling credentials on paper, doesn't implement his wrestling into his game in the same way that Mike Pierce does. Mike Pierce is nasty and aggressive, and I think he's going to take this fight. I like this one for fight of the night, like I said. Moving on to the Spike TV portion of the card, we got 10-0 Chad Money Mendez taking on Rani Yahya. Rani Yahya is riding a 2-fight win streak, including victories over Mike Thomas Brown and Kenny Robertson. In Chad Money Mendez, though, he's going to run into somebody he can't beat. This guy's got an incredible wrestling game, a stifling top game, ground and pound, and the explosiveness to basically make the fight happen where he needs it to happen. I like Chad Mendez in a fairly easy decision. Moving up to the main event of the Spike TV portion of the card, we've got Matt the Hammer Hamill taking on Alexander Gustafsson. Gustafsson's riding a 2-fight win streak, including victories over Cyril the Snake Diabate and James Tahuna. That said, I don't think either of those guys are quite the level of Matt Hamill. I think Gustafsson's bit off a little more than he can chew here. I think Matt Hamill's probably going to end up on top, keeping there for a 3-round boring decision. Moving on to our pay-per-view portion of the card, we got Rory the Waterboy McDonald taking on Mike Quicksand Pyle. Mike Quicksand Pyle is a journeyman, constant professional. He's got every trick in the book, just coming off a victory over Johnny Hathaway as well as Ricardo Almeida, so you know he can get it done. But he's running into Rory McDonald, who is the second best welterweight in Canada, George St. Pierre's protege, and basically a hell of a fighter. I think Rory McDonald's going to have all the physical tools and the confidence to overcome the experience edge. I like him in this fight. Moving up the card, we got Jorge Rivera taking on the unfortunately named Constantino Philippou. I'm not really too familiar with Philippou, though Jorge Rivera, everybody knows he's been around forever. He's sort of on his farewell run here. I like him in this fight, though I don't really have a lot of back information on his opponent. Moving up the card, we've got Dennis Superman Hallman, a man who's been in the news due to his testosterone replacement therapy. He's going to be taking on Brian Embersall. Brian Embersall you'll be familiar with for his victory over Lights Out Lytle at UFC Australia back in February. This fight's going to be good. Both these guys are consummate veterans. They have 168 fights between the two of them. They have very well-rounded styles. I like Brian Embersall in this fight because I think his wrestling is just a little bit better. Moving up to the co-main event of the evening, we got Vitor the Phenom Belfort taking on Yoshihiro Akiyama. Vitor Belfort's 1-1 in his last two. Everybody saw the face kick heard around the world where he lost to Anderson Silva, but previous to that he was riding a 3-fight KO streak, including KOs over Matt Lindland, Rich Franklin, and Terry Martin. In his opponent, Yoshihiro Akiyama, you got a guy who has a habit of collecting fight of the night checks, but he needs to get in the habit of collecting W's. He's 1-2 in his last 3, and his career could be on the line with the UFC here. I like Vitor Belfort in this fight. He's going to take advantage of Akiyama's propensity to get hit. He's going to tattoo his chin and end up with the KO victory and possibly fight of the night bonus. Moving up the card, we've got Rashad Evans taking on Tito Ortiz in a rematch at UFC 73. Tito Ortiz is coming off that huge win at UFC 132, which I was fortunate enough to attend live, and if the reaction of the crowd was any indication, people are really happy to see Tito finally have something bounce his way. In Rashad Evans, though, I think that feel-good story is going to come to an end. Rashad Evans is too athletic, he's too well-rounded, and his striking game is come too far for Tito Ortiz to do what he did in the first fight. I think the discrepancy in between striking is going to become prevalent in the second round as Tito starts to slow down a little bit and Rashad really lays it on him. The wild card here is the almost 14-month layoff Rashad Evans has had. How much ring rust is he going to bring into the cage with him is anybody's guess. But if the training camp and open workouts are any indication, he looks to be in excellent shape, and I don't think it's going to be an issue. Any more information you need on the card, you can check it out at itsfightingstupid.blogspot.com. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter at Riley from Canada, as well as our Facebook page /itsfightingstupid.